Hello, and thank you for joining me. This is Joanna, the Medium channel, and I'm Joanna. I am your medium and also an intuitive coach. These are going to be your general messages for September 2017. Few things before we go into your reading. First and foremost, thank you so much for coming back. For those of you who have been my loyal viewers, thank you so much for coming back, and thank you so much for purchasing your private sessions. I can't thank you enough. And I do what I do because I love helping all of you. So thank you so much. For those of you who are new, I hope that you find what you like here. Perhaps you were guided by a fluke to come to this channel, and hopefully the messages that you hear will resonate with you on some level. Because these messages are general, they will not resonate with all of you. And sometimes they will not resonate with you at all. Sometimes certain parts will resonate with you, and sometimes the whole message will resonate with you. And from my experience over the last almost 2 years of doing these videos, what I'm getting from you is that they're substantially turn out to be quite personal for you, and I love hearing that. But if you want a private session, of course, that information is down below for you. And for those of you who are getting back to me and asking me questions pertaining to the general message readings, I cannot get back to you and I cannot answer your questions because these are general. So it's impossible for me to tune in to every single individual. And even if someone does connect with me and ask me a question about a video or message in a video, it's impossible for me to get that information. Also, for information or for videos that are long term, you can of course go to my Vimeo On Demand page, where I have videos from July until the end of this year posted. That information is also down below for you. Also, on Monday, September the 4th, on my show, radio show, I will be interviewed by my beautiful friend Stephanie. She was on the show previously, and she's going to throw questions my way. I have no idea what they are. This is a complete surprise for me as far as what the content of her questions are. So stay tuned. This is going to be an exciting show because I have absolutely nothing as far as prep time. It's just going to be what it's going to be. So tune in. And for those of you who can't tune in, that show will be posted. I will post it on this channel, so it will be available for you to listen down the road. The information on the show, if you want to listen to it live, is also down below. And if you want to book a private session, there is a icon that will appear to you right there at the top, or there's information regarding my booking or the way to book appointments. Also, that information is down below for you. And you can see the name at the bottom of the screen, joannathemedium.com. You can go into my website or to my website and contact me from there. And last but not least, I am expanding, I am changing. Spirit is pushing me in a new direction, a more expanded direction. So over the next few months, you will see a lot of changes to my site, a lot of changes to the way I work, huge additions that will benefit you. So over the next few weeks, I will post a video on what those changes will be. And it's exciting for me because it's going to be offering a lot more services for you. So stay tuned. And I think that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for liking, sharing, for subscribing. I hope you like these videos, and let's go on and start your reading for September. Stay tuned. Hello, beautiful Aries. This is going to be your message or your intuitive reading for the sign for the month of September 2017. It's an interesting energy, I have to say. So let me just start off with what I received from Spirit channeled information. So one of the things that I was seeing, I saw different things. So this is going to apply to various people. Not everything will apply to everyone, I don't feel. So one of the things that I was seeing is you were putting down fires, and I felt this had to do with work. So don't be surprised if over the next little while, and particularly over the next few months, 2 to 3 months, you might be in a situation where your work will require you to be extra vigilant in the work environment, and I was clearly seeing you putting down fires. So you may be in a position where you are responsible for something, and or you're in a position of responsibility, and you will be putting fires, whether it's actual fires because you are a fireman or firewoman, or it's a figure of speech. You will be called on situations in order to make them better, put out fires. You guys know what that is. So that is going to be for some of you. And what I hear is summer months have been busy, but what's coming up is going to be even busier. So for those of you who you will understand if this connects with you, for those of you who are working, and obviously even if you're working, it may not connect to all of you. The other part of this message is that I feel your internal fire is being distinguished. And what this means to me is the fire element within us is our spirit. It's what gives us drive. It's what gives us passion. And because the fire was being put down, I feel that your own spirit is feeling, or your own passion is feeling slightly diminished. So you may find yourself in a situation, or this could be a continuation of a situation where you are feeling continually more dissatisfied in some aspect of your life or in some area of your life. I do hear work, so for some of you this is going to be work. For some of you this is going to be relationships and or other aspects of your life. But the diminishing of fire tells me that there is less and less joy in your life, or whatever you are doing is bringing you less and less satisfaction. And I actually asked the question, what does your spirit want to manifest at this time? And I was told internal peace. So many of you are finding yourself where you are struggling. You've been struggling for quite some time. For some of you, it's been years. For some of you, it's been months. For some of you, it might become very apparent in the next few upcoming months. But there seems to be an internal struggle, a tug of war, if you will, between what you want and what is. So, it's interesting, very interesting. The other thing I saw, for some of you, I saw you working really, really hard. So this could be connected to you putting out a lot of fires, particularly if you're in a manager's position or higher up, or you're on call, or you do something where you literally put out fires. I saw you working very hard. But the other part of the message was that I saw you working very hard, but you were not getting much out of it. And I don't necessarily think financially, although that it can certainly be the component which could cause your dissatisfaction. But emotionally speaking, you were not into it. You were not getting out of it. You are not getting much out of it emotionally. And when we are not connected to what we do every day for 8, 7, 10, 12 hours a day, that can be really, really taxing. And imagine doing that over and over and over again. If you don't have any other outlet outside of your work, if this is your work, then life can feel pretty bleak. If you are in a relationship where you are working so hard but you're not getting much in return, that can be really taxing on your soul and your inner fire. So that seems to be coming up. The other vision I had, which was very interesting, I saw someone running to catch a bus or plane or train, and you were late. So for those of you who take public transit for work, or take public transit period, be careful that you don't miss somewhere, you don't miss something and you're going somewhere. So it could be late for work, could be anything, but be careful not to miss your opportunity. This is also a message about missing an opportunity. So some of you may be exposed to a brand new possibility and be careful that you don't sleep on it too long, because you may miss some great opportunities. So that's a bit of a flag right there for you. And I actually wrote, don't be too late and watch your step. So for those of you, watch your step. This was more about, I saw you running to catch a bus, and there's a possibility that you might trip and fall. So just be careful where you're stepping. I don't get, this is actually information that I rarely get, but because it was shown to me, it's going to hopefully prevent someone from getting into, you know, a bad situation possibly. Okay, now let's move on to the cards. So 2 cards popped up when I was asking for the general theme. The first card popped up. It's 8 of Cups in reverse. Okay, so this card is about feeling aimless, being discouraged, feeling like you don't have much to show for, feeling like there is a general sense of misery on some level, and just feeling almost detached from yourself. I feel emotionally, it's showing me that emotionally your passion is gone, and that's the fire that I was seeing being distinguished. So that's coming up for some of you. The next card you have is the card of Star in reverse. So it is generally a really good card, but because it's being shown in reverse, again, it tells me that there is a sense of you having a bit of lack of faith, albeit temporarily. So something is happening in your life, or something has been happening in your life, and now this is all coming up to surface, where you're feeling generally kind of blah and discouraged in some area of your life. And what they're saying here is changes need to be implemented in order for you to get out of your rut. And whatever these changes will be, in whatever area, it is up to you to make sure you are in the right space or in the right frame of mind to in order for you to be in the right frame of mind, you need to implement these changes. And these changes could be relationship, work, friendships, whatever it is. And they could be little things, they could be big things that you implement, but they're saying to you, change is inevitable at this time. So that's the overall energy. It's not I don't take it as a daunting message, but there's something is coming up for you. And I feel the reason why it's coming up is because something needs to end. Either the way you are living your life has to end because it is really not serving you. Either the way you work has to end because it is not serving you. Either the way you look at the world or your work has to change. So the perspective within you has to change. There's something that has to change within you in order for you to get out of this rut, whatever that area may be for you. And for some of you, this may require you to take drastic steps where you need to leave something or someone behind. Yes, but I don't think that's going to be generally most of you. That's going to be some number of you, but not general. Generally, this is more about your inner attitude towards life. That's being addressed here. So the next card you have, so then I ask Spirit, okay, what else do you need them to know? What's important for Aries to know? Moon, rising, or sun sign. The card of abandonment came up. Okay, so you can see this is kind of a dark card. There's a woman, I believe, yes, or a person sitting on this, what is it? It looks like some kind of a rock. And just by the position of her body, you can see that she's very sad. And even the coloring, the black and white and the gray, is very bleak. So this message talks about sense of abandonment. And there's a need here to address your pain and your hurt from the past. And I actually wrote, when I was meditating on a card, I actually heard heal your past. Now, also, this card talks about dissatisfaction with relationships. And as a result of your inner pain, you may have formed very unhealthy relationships, and it's time for you to deal with it. Because what I'm hearing is the universe wants to love you, not leave you. And if you close yourself off because someone has left, you felt abandoned, or something has happened where you were really, really hurt, that perception that others are going to leave you, and this could be very much subconscious, is not helping you be the best that you can be, because it's actually keeping you stuck in an internal prison. So there's a need here to address some old wounds. Again, some of you may have controlling tendencies within a relationship. You may have formed unhealthy ties, and it has to do with what has happened to you in the past. So this may actually be why you're feeling a little bit hopeless, and you're feeling like there's lack of faith, you're feeling discouraged, because you continually have this feedback that life basically sucks when it comes to relationships. Also, this is also regarding a work environment. It can also mean that you continually feel like you don't fit in. So if you always find yourself in a situation that you feel like you don't fit in, you need to go deeper and ask yourself, what is it about me that attracts this situation to me that shows me that I don't fit in? It's not that you don't fit in. There is some belief within you that makes you feel different, and not in a good way, that you believe you don't fit in. So there's something here that needs to be addressed, and they're saying to me it's from the past. Some of you, this is around the age 11. Some of you, maybe you were bullied around the age 11, 12, but that is coming up, so it's obviously not going to fit all of you. The next card you have is the card of joy. So you can see this Ganesha card. I love these cards. They're just so beautiful. And this is a card of, what number is this? This is 47. I wrote here when I was meditating on this. Yes, this is about you choosing consciously to take a path towards happiness. This is about you choosing to change your direction, to change your stories. Whatever your stories you hold on to, whatever patterns you are holding on to, whatever beliefs you are holding on to that are contributing to making you feel stuck in some part of your life, it's time to let go of those outdated beliefs and these stories, because they're no longer serving you. You don't need them anymore. You had to go through it for whatever reason, but they're no longer needed in your life. And we cling into our stories, or to our stories, because we're so familiar with the outcome, and that in a strange way makes us feel very comfortable. It is no different than someone who is in a very dysfunctional relationship, and they were brought up in a dysfunctional relationship. They will 9 times out of 10 create the same environment, or this is subconsciously, or attract, let's put it that way, because it feels so familiar. But until you actually allow yourself to break the pattern, until you decide that the stories you are clinging on to are no longer needed and you don't have to cling on to them, until you decide to do that, you will always have some kind of a struggle. So please choose happiness, and happiness comes from making the choice. And yes, a lot of you will challenge me on this, and I'm up for a challenge, but it's basically us saying, look at the life as glass half full versus glass half empty. And your decision to change the way you view yourself in the world and the way you perceive the outside environment can make the difference between happiness and unhappiness. It's all how we connect to things and how we relate to certain things. So this is about you consciously saying, I'm done feeling this way and I choose to feel different, and then taking steps towards that, whatever the steps may be. The next card you have is beautiful because two cards actually came up. Ganesha cards, promise of better future and a promise of the future. So this is a card indicating that you are at the end of something. Okay, it is also a card that indicates, this card also talks about there's some struggles, you're going through some exhaustion. Absolutely, there is some discomfort in your life, for sure. So it's about consciously choosing to be happy. And then once you make that choice, you have to stop following the old patterns. And example? He says, give him an example. If you, for example, if you have a tendency towards being fairly judgmental or critical of other people, you'll notice that you're very critical and judgmental of yourself first and foremost, because that always works that way. You'll never judgmental about other people unless you're judgmental about yourself. It's just the way it works. So if you have always been judgmental about other people, it is maybe time to say to yourself, okay, for the next day, I am going to make myself a challenge and I will not judge others. And you'll notice it'll come up so many times. You're not even aware of it. But when you come up, just say to yourself, okay, stop. Today, I'm not going to judge this person. Today, I'm just going to say, okay, no, I'm not going to judge you today. I'm just going to leave that behind for now. And just notice how different you feel. So that's an example of changing a behavior, okay? So the card of a better promise of future basically talks about you're coming to an end of something. It's an end of a cycle. It's an end of a certain situation. It is a transition time. And this card talks about the possibility of a brighter future. It is asking you to consider all the wonderful possibilities that could be available to you if you only gave yourself a chance to believe it and to consider it as a possibility. So again, if we cling on to old stories and if we say to ourselves, life is never going to be good for me, I'll never get a good job, I'll never make good money, people always mistreat me. If you say those things to yourself as an example, you will create it because you are expecting it. So this is about shifting your expectation. And it takes practice. There's no question about it. But it is up to you. Remember, your spirit wants internal peace. Your spirit wants peace inside. And nothing on the outside can give you that. You have to choose to do that. And then as a result of feeling it and being it, you will attract it to you. That's just how it works. It is no different why drama queens, and I say this all the time, attract drama. Have you ever seen a peaceful person attracting a dramatic person? No, and if they do, it'll just leave because the energy is completely contradicting, and we do attract what we are and what we believe. So the next card is a card that some of you absolutely love and some of you absolutely hate, and I respect both. I love this card this deck because it has no numbers, no symbols. It is a pure intuitive hit for me, and that's how I love to work. Love it. Okay. I get excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store. Notice what comes to you when you see this card. It's a burst. It's an explosion. And notice this person, let's call him a person, has their hands like this. These are the hands in a receiving way, receiving motion. Is that the right word? Those are receiving hands. When we allow ourselves to receive, we have the ability to transform. Okay? But we also have to know that we are worthy of receiving. So if you have felt abandoned in the past, You may have received the message that became a subconscious belief that you are not deserving, therefore you are abandoned. Okay, so that's something you might have to address, and a lot of it will be subconscious. But when I connect with this card, I see a burst of possibilities. I see there is an explosion of heart, and not a physical explosion, but expansion of the heart center. There's a lot of yellow and orange and red. That's all the first three chakras. Those are all the physical aspects of who we are, because the fourth and up connect to our spirituality. So this is about safety. This is about creativity, and this is about engaging in ways that make you feel creatively engaged, that would allow you to feel happy, that would allow you to connect to your inner spirit or your inner fire again. There's a lot of red here and orange. Orange is the second chakra, and that's all about sexuality, as you know. And or for those of you who don't know, and it's all about feeling safe and secure in relationships or in a community. So that might be hitting on the abandonment aspect. Red is the first chakra that is all about sheer survival and sheer physical security. So I always say 9 times out of 10, if we have challenges with safety and security, we will have challenges with attracting or keeping money. That's just the way it goes, because if we have the fundamental subconscious belief that the world is not safe and secure, and money represents security, those are contradicting energies. You cannot attract something that contradicts your beliefs. It doesn't, and if you do, you're not going to keep it because it contradicts what you believe. So there's a burst of opportunities, a birth of newness, expansion, possibilities, endless possibilities. So a beautiful, beautiful card. And most importantly, the receiving hands. Okay? When we believe that we are deserving, we will naturally allow ourselves to receive. And sometimes it's not about doing. Sometimes it's about receiving. And I know a lot of people, myself included in the past, that was all about doing, but not receiving, because I didn't know how. I never learned how to receive, but most importantly, I did not believe I was worth it. So I was worthy of receiving. So that's something that I feel you might have to work with. And I think that's all I have. I hope you like this. I'm seeing the number 6. That to me is a number of balance. It's also a very nurturing number. It's a very family oriented number for me. So sounds to me like there's a possibility here for you to find some inner peace through some contemplation and some hard work and effort. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know if this connects with you. You can write a comment. I read every single one. Thank you so much. And of course, this will not resonate with you. If it doesn't resonate with you at all, maybe parts of it will. And also listen to your other signs, moon, rising, and sun, of course, as this may offer you more information. I wish you best of luck. And thank you so much for watching again. And thank you for subscribing. And I look forward to seeing you in October. Take care.